Hi guys, we're going to take a look at how you can create a lesson plan. That's a template where you match instructors with students and then use that template to create lessons week after week on the calendar. And then we'll take a look at how your instructors can see what that plan looks like. Okay, let's go. Tools, coordinators, menu. If you don't have this, tools, etc., then you're not set up as a coordinator and you need to talk to your club admin to give you that authorization. So tools, coordinators, menu, and then in lesson manager, right here, then I go down to weekly program plan editor. Okay, lesson manager, weekly program plan editor. And I get this screen with the pale blue. The screen has 4 sections on it, just really quick. The first section is to set up my plan. So I'm going to create a new plan or change an existing one. And then when my plan is done, then I can go ahead and I can put it on the calendar on whichever week that I want to apply it. And if I made a mistake, then I can go in here and I can say, oops, the 19th, I did not want the lessons that I put on the 19th to be there, take them off. Okay, let's take a look. So I'm just going to create a new plan. So I just leave this as a new plan. I click Edit Plan because I'm creating a new one. And which program? So my program that I'm going to do is Deaf and Hard of Hearing. And I'm going to go in. Now, this screen has several sections on it. The main is the students are in the blue at the top, of which there are none. That's helpful. And the instructors who wanted to work in this program are at the bottom. And I'm going to guess that it is because my students have not been accepted yet. So I'm going to click this. Here, I'll do that slowly. I'm going to click this little wheel thing here. And I'm going to say include students that are not accepted and include members without a membership. There we go. So now I have students who have requested the program and instructors as well. So this yellow section here is if I wanted to find out, well, who's skiing? Then it will highlight in green those who have said they are alpine skiers. Or I could say who wants to work on a Tuesday. And then those are, well, there's not many. This yellow one is a Sydney said maybe and Robin said yes. So this is how you can sort of narrow in and find people that match to help match them together. And then the other thing to know is if you hover, then you get a little bit of information about the student. You get their requested snow sport, which is alpine skiing. They have not been accepted yet. Oops. Their accept status, they have not been accepted yet, and they are not a member yet. So you get a little bit of information about them. Okay, so to go ahead and build my schedule, the days that are part of the program are going to be here. If you only have one day in your program, then there will only be one day here. And the shifts that are part of the program are here. In this case, there's only one. And this little white box, that's the actual lesson box. So I'm going to take Samantha, put her in here, and I'm going to take Katie as the instructor and Matthew as the instructor and put them there. And that's my lesson. Now, if I want to do another lesson on Monday, I click the plus sign, right? I just clicked here. And then I have another little white space. I'm going to put Christy in there, and I'm going to put Veronica and James. And then I go through and I build my schedule. Now, when I've got it largely done, or generally largely done, I want to save my plan. And I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to save it. And it just tells me sort of the work that it did in the background, and it's done. Now, until I fix it, right now, after you save it for the first time, it's a good idea if you're going to work on it some more, just a good idea to exit and go back in. There's my plan, and I'll show you why. Now when I come back in, it's reloaded it, and it's given me a bit of information. It says, just a minute, Katie did not pick evening as the time slot she wanted to work, and Matthew, same thing. This may or may not be relevant to your club. This little checkbox you can then say that these are the lead instructors. It's just for documentation purposes only. And one last thing I want to point out about this screen once you've saved it is there's a little 1 here beside Veronica's name. There's a little 1 beside Matthew. There is, let's get my students back. And there's a 1 beside Christy and Samantha. And the reason for that, and here it might be kind of obvious as to who you've assigned, but if you're working on a bigger schedule and you've got 50 instructors and working on multiple days, then this is an easy way to say, well, look, Matthew's already on a lesson. Well, that's what that 1 is. So that means he's on 1 lesson, and Shauna isn't on any lessons yet. Here, James is on 1 lesson. So you can quickly look down and see sort of what's going on. And you go ahead and fine-tune your schedule, and you can work on it and change it throughout the season as often as you want. Okay, my schedule is done. Save my changes, and now I'm out. So now I want to put my schedule onto the calendar starting in January. So I'm going to pick my plan, was this one, and the program was, can't remember, I think it was blind and visually impaired, and I'm going to put it on the calendar starting on Monday the 6th. So go ahead and do that. I put 2 lessons on, that's all I had, and I'm going to put it on the 13th as well. Okay, so you can go ahead and do as many weeks as you want. Maybe not a good idea to do too many in a row because initially things change up a bit. Okay, let's have a look at the lesson calendar now and see what that looks like. So I'm going to go Instructors, Lesson List, and there we go. So there's my January 6th and my January 13th lesson. It's telling me that student wasn't accepted yet, which we kind of knew. There we go. So here's our instructors, here's our students. You're probably familiar with this. Now, I can, if I want to or need to, I can just pop in here and I can swap out the time. I can take off an instructor. I can find another, slid me down. I can find another good candidate by clicking the light bulb. This student wasn't accepted yet, so it doesn't know who it can give me, so I can just find somebody. I'll pick Robert and put him on there. Okay, so that's done. One thing I want to point out about this lesson change is this red box feature here. And so you're changing a lesson that's part of a plan. And so what it's asking you is, there's one other lesson subsequent to this that's part of the plan. Do you want to change that lesson also? So, if Robert broke his leg on the lesson, then I might want to take him off and change him for all future lessons. So you don't have to go into each individual one and change it. Okay, that's that. And then how can the instructors take a look at what the plan looks like? They go under their instructors task list and they find the weekly plan. And there it is, Rob Demo happens to be the one. They could have picked another one. And then they can see, so just generally what the plan looks like. Okay, that is, I think, all I have to say about lesson scheduling. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and I'd be happy to help. Thanks for listening.